Hi, everyone. Welcome back. We are live at RSBN's studio headquarters in Auburn, Alabama, and we are joined with the one and only Congresswoman Green, who's live in DC. Miss Green, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me on, Liz. This is a big night.
It's a huge night. We're all very excited here. We've campaigned really hard the past few years with his momentous rallies, and so we're excited to see what the message will be. But first and foremost, I want to say congratulations to you because you had a huge win in Georgia District 14, and despite everything else going on with the midterms, that's not to be overlooked. So congratulations on that. Now, I want to talk to you also about Congress and what having the majority would mean, because as of today, it's projected that we as Republicans will have the majority in Congress. So what does that mean for the future of the America First agenda?
Absolutely. I think Americans have a huge reason to celebrate tonight because tonight it has been announced the decision desk has called it for the Republicans to hold the majority in the House starting in January. So here in Washington, D.C., that's a really big deal because when we control the House and we have the majority, we elect our speaker, we're going to have subpoena power. And everyone watching knows exactly what that means. I'm looking forward to serving on the Oversight Committee, and we will definitely be bringing accountability to the people that have misled the American people, have abused their power, and have spent the American people's tax dollars for the wrong purposes and for corruption. So I look forward to those investigations, but subpoena power is everything. But tonight we're going to hear President Trump announce his candidacy for 2024. And here's why it's so exciting, Liz. You and I both have been to so many Trump rallies all over the country, and we know where the American people's hearts are. We know exactly who they're loyal to. They're loyal to President Trump. They elected him in 2016. They reelected him in 2020, and they're going to do it again in 2024. He will be our nominee in 2024. But let me explain what that means. So here in Congress, what Republicans will do over the next 2 years is we will set the agenda and we will prove to the American people that the Republican Party is the party that is America first, that the Republican Party will be the party that they can trust for their children's future and for the future of this country. The past 2 years have been unbelievable in what we have lived through under the Biden administration and under Democrat control. Americans are fed up with it, with people everywhere hardly able to afford food, gas, rent because of inflation that's crippling Americans, a wide open border that has led to over 5 million people invading our country. We have a daily invasion. Fentanyl killing over 300 people every single day. Crime is out of control in every single city in the United States of America, and no one's ever been held accountable for those BLM riots that burned American cities. We have Americans that have been charged for January 6th, and they're rotting away in jail every single day. Pre-trial, they haven't even been convicted. We have a federal government that is pursuing and spending tens of billions of dollars defending another country's border over in Ukraine and completely ignoring the daily border invasion in our country. So I think America is ready, and the Republican Party is going to be the party that's going to lead on these issues. But more importantly, we're going to set the stage for President Trump in 2024. Let's outline what that looks like. President Trump is the greatest president that we have ever had in the history of this nation. President Trump brought world peace at a time when we needed it after decades of foreign wars. President Trump moved the embassy to Jerusalem and Israel. President Trump put our border security first and started building a border wall. That wall needs to be finished and our border needs to be secured. President Trump had the strongest economy, the greatest tax plan, and President Trump truly cared about the American people, no matter who they were, rich, poor, or every single identity. President Trump truly cares about Americans and put America first. So we are so excited for him to announce his candidacy tonight because President Trump has a plan. You see, he started something when he ran and became president in 2016, and he has to finish it. President Trump will drain the swamp, and he has the list of every single unelected bureaucrat that we need to gut out of this huge federal bureaucracy and the people that we need to remove from our government. You see, he learned a lesson in his first 4 years. He found out who his friends are and who his enemies are. And those same enemies of President Trump are the enemies of the American people. And this is why I support President Trump in his candidacy. And I cannot wait to work as hard as possible to get him reelected and get him back in the White House in 2024. So I'm so excited about tonight.
Thank you so much. Now, your support for President Trump is clear. You endorsed him earlier today for a 2024 run. But when it comes to the MAGA movement, it looks like there's a divide amongst who they want as Speaker of the House, because we are finally getting rid of Pelosi, which is a huge accomplishment in and of itself.
Yes.
But when it comes to Speaker of the House and the divide there, whether it's your support for McCarthy or Matt Gaetz' support for Biggs, why do you think McCarthy is going to be the best choice?
Well, first, let me make it very clear. I absolutely love Andy Biggs and Matt Gaetz. Those are two of my great allies and friends. Those are people that I fight alongside with and
Right.
completely share those values. I'm a proud member of the House Freedom Caucus, and everyone knows how hard I have fought over the past 2 years. Everyone needs to remember, I have served without committees. I have asked for recorded votes. We have over 530 bills on records because of my work asking for recorded votes, and Freedom Caucus joining me in that fight. Here's something else everyone needs to know. I am going to be completely committed to my same values and same fight that I've shown the entire time, but we're at real risk that with this razor thin majority, Liz, there is a real chance the Democrats can recruit weak Republicans to join them in electing a speaker of their choice. We cannot allow that to happen. And those conversations are already happening. Don Bacon is on record telling the press that he would work with Democrats to choose a speaker. And there are other Republicans that are actively planning and saying they won't allow Freedom Caucus to control who the speaker is. They're going to do everything they can to control who the speaker is. And that means working with Democrats if they need to. I refuse to allow that to happen. We cannot hand the gavel over to Democrat control because, again, subpoena power is everything, and we need to control the purse strings. So here's what we have to do. We have to do everything we can to make sure that we elect the speaker. The majority of our conference right now supports Kevin McCarthy. We had our vote today in our conference. There were only 31 people that voted against Kevin McCarthy. And I have to tell everyone, Nancy Pelosi, when she ran for speaker last time in her conference, 32 Democrats voted against her and she ran unopposed. No one was running against her and 32 people voted no. But when it came to January 3rd, they voted united for Nancy Pelosi. And we've seen the damage that's happened ever since then. So just because we had 31 vote against Kevin McCarthy today, that doesn't mean that's going to happen on January 3rd. Kevin McCarthy is working with my friends in Freedom Caucus, talking to them about the rules package that we have proposed. And I love seeing it. You see, the Republican Party, our conference, has to come together and prove that we can lead in America. And I am very glad to be part of that effort. That's what I want to see happen. Americans all over are sick and tired of the drama in Washington. They elected people and they're expecting us to work for this country and put Americans first. And that's what we're going to do. See, I lean into the fighting, the infighting in our party because I think it's important. Iron sharpens iron, and that's exactly what we're doing. So while it looks kind of messy in the public right now, I can assure everyone that we're going to pull this thing together when January 3rd happens, and we are going to be a Republican conference that has been the best one in history, the Republican conference that Americans will want to reelect in 2024 and give us more members. We want a bigger majority in 2024. So that's what I'm looking forward to seeing happen.
Well, as a Republican voter, I'm also looking forward to January 3rd and this new party coming in. Now, I want to know, do you consider the midterms a success? Because we're getting mixed messages across the board on this as well. A lot of people are saying, oh, it's not the red wave or it's not what we were really hoping for. And then we look at President Trump's messaging and he really is just so ecstatic for the victories that we had. But there's still a bit of a mess when it comes to Arizona. So even I'm not exactly sure where I stand, but what do you think about the midterms? And yeah, just let me know.
I think that's a great question, Liz, and I'm really glad you asked it. As far as the House, I feel it's a success because we're taking back the majority. But for Arizona, I think it's an absolute disaster and an embarrassment on the world stage. Carrie Lake should be governor of Arizona. I truly believe there's election fraud there. It should never be election month. It should be election day. And it's pathetic that we have elections in states like Arizona, California, and other states where they're still counting ballots a week leading into 2 weeks and even more, counting ballots and trying to figure out what the count is for election day. That's unacceptable. And so until we come up with a way to have election day and not election month, we're going to continue to see election fraud because that's what mail-in ballots make possible. They make election fraud possible. And so I think the American people have a right to be angry about that. And I think people in Arizona are sick and tired of it and fed up because they had a great opportunity to have one of the best governors that we would have ever seen in our country. And that would have been Carrie Lake. And I'm devastated for Carrie. She's become a good friend of mine, but I don't think that's the end of Carrie Lake. I'm looking forward to seeing what she does in the future. But I do understand she needs some time with her great husband, her beautiful kids, her family. She needs a little bit of time for this, but I think it's up to people in Arizona to make their message clear. Carrie Lake doesn't have to be out there on the front lines. It's the people in Arizona that need to tell their government that they are fed up with these fraudulent elections that create election month instead of election day.
Absolutely. It's absurd. You and I were both in Arizona at some of these Save America rallies, and just looking at those numbers alone, the support for Carrie Lake as governor and the rest of the America First endorsed candidates was overwhelming. So that's very concerning to me to see what's going on in Arizona. Now, I want to switch back to the East Coast really quick and talk to you about Georgia because Georgia is one of those states as well that's not quite finished. We've got a runoff when it comes to our Senate election. Do you think Herschel Walker is going to be able to pull it off in Georgia? We had a win for the gubernatorial candidate, Brian Kemp, not Brian Glenn, but Brian Kemp. He beat Stacey Abrams. So do you think that we're going to be able to see that another victory for the Republicans when it comes to the Senate race? Do you think that President Trump might get out and do another rally, especially if he announces a presidential campaign tonight? What's Georgia looking like?
Well, Liz, you and I love Georgia because that's our home state. That's something you and I share in common. So you and I both know Georgia is a lot different on the ground and inside the state than it looks from the outside. And Liz, I really hope that we can pull it off for Herschel Walker. It's going to take a lot of work for us to do that. The biggest factor that we need in Georgia is we need to focus on turnout. Because I believe if we can turn out our voters, we can get Herschel across the line and send him into the United States Senate. And I'll make a case for why that's so important. You see, Senate elections are every 6 years. This is a long time. Georgia cannot afford, the United States cannot afford to send Raphael Warnock back into the Senate after he's voted nearly 100% of the time for Joe Biden's disastrous agenda. We're talking about abortion up until the day of birth. That's what Raphael Warnock believes in. We're talking about transgender surgeries for children, cutting off their breast and castration for children, puberty blockers. That's what Raphael Warnock believes in. We're talking about a wide open border and ignoring the fact that over 300 people are dying every single day from fentanyl poisoning. That's what Raphael Warnock believes in. So when you talk about radical and extremists, that's exactly what Raphael Warnock is. He doesn't care about the people being carjacked, raped, murdered, and killed in the city of Atlanta. He could care less. All he cares about is spending his time up here in Washington, D.C., kissing up to Chuck Schumer, Joe Biden, and the Biden administration. Georgia cannot afford that embarrassment anymore. So, Liz, we're going to be on the ground working hard to get Herschel across the line because it's so important for us to get that Senate seat back and put that Senate seat on a mission for America first. And I know Herschel Walker will do that. President Trump, no doubt, will be helping him, campaigning for him, helping in Georgia in every single way. But let me tell you what else we have. Governor Kemp, who we just reelected, and we defeated Stacey Abrams, humiliated her for even daring to run for governor again a second time in Georgia. Governor Kemp will be on the ground too. Governor Kemp will be helping turn out Herschel Walker's votes alongside of our great and favorite president, future president in 2024, Donald J. Trump. So I think we're going to see a uniting of Republicans in Georgia, and that's to fight for that Senate seat. And you know I'll be out there helping on the ground too.
Well, I look forward to seeing you at a rally soon. I have chills also. I mean, when you talk about uniting, it's just so wonderful to see it and see it happening, especially in Georgia, because we love it so much. There are over 350,000 people watching on Rumble alone right now. So I wanted to say thank you, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, for taking the time out of your busy day to talk to us at Right Side Broadcasting Network. And we're going to switch it back over to Brian Glenn, who is live at Mar-a-Lago, where President Trump will be making his big announcement tonight. Over to you, Brian.